Hey friends, today we're going to be talking about your mind. Your mind is incredibly powerful. Your mind can actually change your brain. Sometimes we talk about the mind and the brain as if they're the same thing, but they're actually different. Your mind is the part of you that thinks and feels, makes decisions, and wonders about things. Your mind isn't something that's tangible. You can't touch it. There's not a physical mind. But your brain is the organ inside your body that sits inside your skull and weighs about 3 pounds. And since your mind and brain work together, you can make certain choices using your mind to change your brain, to make it stronger and healthier and happier, and that can change your life. Because as the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius said, our life is what our thoughts make it, and your thoughts come from your mind. Here's how it works. There are pathways in our brain that are created by thoughts and actions. These pathways help us to do pretty much everything in life. And as we learn things, new pathways are created. We can create good pathways in our brain that help us to be happy, healthy people, or we can create bad pathways that leave us feeling pretty unhappy. And the pathways we use the most become the strongest and easiest to use. So we need to be careful about what kind of pathways we're creating and strengthening in our brain. And the pathways in our brain depend a lot on what kind of mindset we have. Dr. Dweck has identified 2 main mindsets that people have, either a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset is basically when we believe that the things that we're able to do and how smart we are set and unchangeable, and there's not really room for improvement. A growth mindset is the belief that learning and improvement are possible and come from effort. When faced with a challenge, a growth mindset might say, "This is a great chance to learn something new," or "I just need more practice." Practicing this kind of thinking develops those good pathways in your brain. Here's how it works. This here is your brain. When you experience something like confusion, maybe when you are doing homework or you don't understand someone, your brain registers that feeling and choices about how to respond to that feeling. If you have developed a fixed mindset, you might respond by thinking, "Oh no, this is terrible. I'll never understand." That thinking creates a negative pathway in your brain. It might lead you to get angry or to be discouraged. The more you allow yourself to use this pathway, the stronger that pathway will get. And the chances are that whenever you get confused, your first thought will be something like, "I can't do this." But instead of a fixed mindset, you can choose to have a growth mindset. If you have a growth mindset, then when you're confused, you can choose to think something like, "I can learn this." This creates a physical, real change in your brain, creating a new pathway, and the more you use this pathway, the stronger it gets. And the really cool thing is that the more you use the positive pathway, the weaker the negative pathway will get, until the positive pathway is so strong that it'll become really easy to use, and you'll pretty much always take that pathway whenever you feel confused. And eventually, when you face a challenging problem that you don't know how to solve, you can approach it with confidence. And Dr. Dweck's research shows that what kind of mindset you have matters way more than any natural ability or talent. So that's awesome news. The next time you feel confused or angry or sad or whatever it is, recognize how you feel and then decide how you're going to respond to it, because how you respond is completely up to you. And what you do about how you feel matters a ton, because according to Dr. Caroline Leaf, action completes the cycle of building up and breaking down thoughts, which is essential in creating good pathways and getting rid of the bad ones. Creating or strengthening a growth mindset is going to take time and practice, but that's okay. Decide that you can work at it, because you can. Just remember that change takes place over time through continual practice. Whenever you have a fixed mindset thought, catch it and replace it with a growth mindset thought, and you'll get better at it the more you do it. And you'll be able to make your mind and brain happier and stronger and healthier. As you begin the journey of creating or strengthening a growth mindset, it can be really helpful to think about how your mind works, because everyone's mind works a little differently. So this is different than what you think about, it's how you think. So when you hear a question or an idea or wonder about something, how does your mind work through that? And what would that look like? So, what does your mind look like? You might make a drawing of someone in your mind reading lots and lots of books trying to figure things out. Or maybe there are a bunch of different rooms with people who have different jobs and different things to accomplish, but they all work together. Or perhaps you imagine your mind like a crazy Dr. Seuss machine, where you put in information and it goes through tubes and twirls through some gears, and then an idea pops out. And notice that there's a place to get rid of stuff that we don't need. It could be bad ideas, information that isn't true or useful, or old negative pathways in our brain that we can get rid of. You could imagine your mind as having a bunch of different boxes where you organize information. And notice that there's a box for false information. This is the trash, and this gets emptied at the end of the day. Maybe your mind is like a beautiful garden with things growing everywhere, and every so often you just have to pull out some of the weeds to get rid of the stuff you don't need anymore. Maybe you'd want to make a drawing showing your mind like a cozy little library or office with a desk where you can sit and read books and write down ideas. And notice that there's a trash can so you can get rid of the things that you don't need. And what materials you use is totally up to you. You could cut out pictures to create a collage, you can make a sculpture, a painting, a carving, you could sew something, create a digital design, a video, or a performance. You might want to begin by writing down some ideas on how you picture your mind working. Take some time to think about it, and if there's anything you want to change about the way your mind works, you could help create that change by reimagining your mind in your artwork. I hope you come up with some fun ideas to try out. Comment below with how you imagine the workings and process of your mind and how you would represent that in an artwork. I'd love to hear your ideas. Also, check out the links below for some more information on your amazing mind. If you want more art videos, click subscribe, and we'll see you here next time to have some more fun making art.